Shalom, shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, elder bishops of Great Millstone, and I want to give double honors to the high priest elders that were before them. Peace and salutations to you sincere brothers out there pushing this word with all sincerity and in truth. It's a brother Tazamak from the GMS Austin branch. And for today's lesson, I wanted to go into the holy names of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, which is a strong tower, and the righteous runneth to it and are safe. Okay, and in these times that are upon us, Jacob's trouble, okay, the time of great evils, okay, famine and wars. You know, the scriptures go into Ezra saying, what shall I do when these evils shall come? Let's get that real quick. It's a book of 2nd Ezra 16 and 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? And through the midst of all these trials, tribulation, evil times, you know, we're going to call upon the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Okay, because the scriptures go into the things uttered in Hebrew don't have the same force. Where's it at? I know it's the book of Sirach. Okay, it's a book of Sirach, chapter 1 and verse 1, the prologue. We're going to get straight to the point. It says, wherein we may seem to come short of some words, which we have labored to interpret, for the same things uttered in Hebrew and translated into another tongue have not the same force in them. You see, that's why in the book of Sirach 17 and 10, it says, and the elect shall praise his holy name. Holy is going into separate, set apart. His holy name, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, which Yahweh, which all this goes back to. Let's get that real quick. All that goes back to the ancient Hebrew, the Paleo Hebrew, okay, which we believe is the separate that in Zephaniah 3 and 9, it goes into a pure language, which is a Lashawan Quadash, to call upon the Lord and to serve him with one consent. Okay, we believe this is the Hebrew that is spoken in the heavens too. Because in the book of Acts, when you go to the book of Acts, Paul heard of a Hebrew voice speak to him in the Hebrew tongue. Okay, which Yahweh means he exists, the existing one. Ba Hashem means in the name, and Yahweh Shai, which means he delivereth. He saves, he delivereth. Yahweh Shai. Matthew 1 and 21, he shall save his people from their sins. Okay, but let's go back to the importance of the name, which when we go to the book of John, chapter 14 and verse 26, it says, but the Comforter, which is the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, he shall teach you all things and bring all things to your remembrance, whatsoever I have said unto you. All right, all things to our remembrance. And it's prophesied in the book of Baruch, chapter 2 and verse 30 and a little bit on down. Okay, let's read it real quick. Baruch 2 and 30, for I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves. And the stiff-necked people is referring to the nation of Israel, which consists of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. It says, but in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves, and shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, their power, for I will give them a heart and ears to hear, and they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name. All right, which is Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. Baruch 2:33, and return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the way of their fathers which sinned before the Lord. And let's go to the book of Acts chapter 4 and verse 12. Neither is there salvation in any other. So all those, as we read, what was it in the book of, the same things uttered not in Hebrew don't have the same force in them. So you can't call upon another name or another title and expect Yahweh Bashim, the Lord, to answer you. The book of Sirach chapter 17 and verse 10 tells you that, and the elect shall praise his holy name. We're not saying we're the elect, we're the hopeful elect. We hope the Lord has mercy upon us. But we are praising his holy name with this holy tongue, all right, the Lashawan Quadash. Okay, going back to Ezekiel chapter 39 and verse 7, so will I make my holy name known in the midst of my people Israel. Possessive now, my people Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And I will not let them pollute my holy name anymore. And the heathen, all right, the Gentiles, right, the other nations, the heathen shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, the Holy One in Israel. So the heathen gonna know. All right, Zechariah 13 and verse 9. Let's get that real quick. Zechariah 13 and verse 9. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined. And this third part is going into the 1/3 of the nation of Israel. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people. And they shall say, the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is my power. Now let's get this word refine. Okay, which means to remove impurities or unwanted elements. So through the trials and tribulations that the Lord's going to have us to purify, because the Lord's going to purify his elect, the 1/3. All right, he's going to polish them up, complete, touch up. That's what the similar words are. Purify and cleanse the 1/3. And the 1/3 is going to call upon his name. You see? Okay. 2 Esdras 6 and 28. As for faith, it shall flourish, corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which hath been so long without fruit, shall be declared. And this truth, the gospel, right? Our heritage that we had lost, the names of our power, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, who we are as a people, it was without fruit, but now it's being declared through the four corners of the earth. The name, ultimately, of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is being exalted. That's why when we had gone to the book of Acts 4 and 12, it says, neither is there salvation in any other, for there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved. And that's going into the Israelite men. All right. So there's no other name under Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. That is a true holy name. All right. So going back to 2nd Ezra 16:8, when it said, what shall I do when all these evils shall come? We're going to call upon the name of the Lord. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, so Lord willing, this was edifying. I want to make this too long. Like I said, Lord willing, this edifying, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles, elder bishops of Great Millstone, and I want to give double honors to the high priest elders that were before them. Peace and salutations to you sincere brothers out there, pushing this word with all sincerity and in truth. Until the next one, Shalom.